Well, happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to Headliners on the Headlines. I am your guest hostess, Yaini Ababa, and I have a great panel with me today. I'm so excited. I love all these people. Well, Blaine, I just met, but I've decided I love Blaine.
I
I've
love
got
you
Nicole
too.
Boxer, Blaine Capatch, and Tony Camin, and we are going to talk about all the crazy headlines. I didn't even know where to start, you guys, because I feel like the theme of this week so far is an redaction and reaction, right?
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much where we are. Um, have you been watching Bondi's testimony today?
Snippets, little snippets, the best of.
First of all, why does she always sound like she's crying?
I think she's got a
Very
history of
funny.
crying, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
She's got like the Karen victim vocal fry voice down. I am not going to answer that question.
It's nervous system dysregulation spaghetti. Like
Yeah.
seriously, listening to her, I'm like, her nervous system, like I can feel it in my own body. But
Yeah.
I thought Jamie Raskin said something really brilliant at the very beginning. Like he called it like the DOJ is a vendetta factory.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that just
yeah.
set the tone
Yeah.
for the whole thing because they love to talk about how they're victims of, political warfare and all this stuff. Please, please. But
It's
yeah,
all Biden's fault. It's
yeah,
all
I
Biden.
think this all helps. It helps the progressive cause every time she comes in through Congress.
Oh yeah. It's
I don't know.
they all make them all look bad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's been she just the screech and the fake indignation. And like you said, like Raskin and Nadler are grilling her on this mishandling and all the reactions to the Epstein files. It's just been grotesque. And there was at one point Rep Jayapal, is that her last name? I'm the
Yeah.
worst with and I got this complicated African name. I get everyone's name wrong. She had the victims who are willing stand up. And then she asked them, how many of you have met with this current DOJ or have not met with this current DOJ? And they all raised their hands. And when she asked Bondi to apologize to them, the outrage of Bondi, I was just like, this is the Karen at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And she's in charge of our justice system.
Yeah, can we set the table a little bit? Because I think that was really helpful, like just for anyone that's listening, that, this morning Pam Bondi came to Congress, to the, I guess it's the Judiciary Committee, and she
Yeah.
was able, and Congress was able to finally ask Pam Bondi some questions because she hasn't been to Congress since the release, in air quotes, of the Epstein files, and also since the shooting of two Americans in Minneapolis because of ICE activities. And so I think it's just important to say, holy, that's a lot of stuff, not to mention dropping indictments and all the other things that went on in the hearing. So to give members of Congress who represent us, by the way, only 5 minutes each, and I think, as you point out, to be met with this sort of piss and vinegar bullshit act of like, how dare you ask me why my agents murdered someone in cold blood? It's time for them to have their feet held to the fire on everything.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time she appeared before the House. She's appeared before the Senate, but up until now, it's been since they've taken office, she has not appeared before Congress, only in front of the Senate. So she had more time to practice her like moral outrage. And what was interesting to me was the constant energy of like, how dare you call me here and ask me questions, as she's serving as the president's personal, like, petty executioner.
Yeah, well
And I think, and Blaine,
oh no, she said Ted Lieu said that he said you are in contempt of court. And she was like, how dare you accuse me of a crime? And he's like, no, I'm accused, you're in contempt of court. Yeah, you're lying under oath.
yeah.
And they just think that the louder they are, the less guilty they are. And it's childish.
Yeah.
They for me, they remind me of the person who has no argument, so they just scream and scream and scream and hope that their whiteness helps them get away with it. Sorry, I know you're all white, but
What?
Powerful.
yeah, there are some
Not
people,
me.
yeah, not Tony, but there are some people who happen to share melanin with y'all who use their melanin as a weapon. And I feel like she's one of those people.
Yeah.
The only good thing I can say about her is she is in her 60s and she looks great. That's it. Like,
Is she really?
plastic surgeon.
She's in her
She's in her
60s?
She's 60. I'm 60. I
Wow.
look
Whoa.
great.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You do look
Pounds.
I'm
Yeah, 60
42.
pounds. You mean 40 as well, or 42?
I think it's the lying. It must do wonders for all your lines, all the lying and bullshit.
not having to be held
outrage.
accountable. It's all that not having to be held accountable.
Yeah.
It's just so you don't have to
Doing whatever you want.
stress.
You don't age without a conscience.
Yeah. When you lack morals, you don't have to stress about your
Goes
behavior.
right off you.
Right?
But
Yeah.
crime is down. Crime is down. But what about those two Americans that you guys murdered in cold blood on TV? Like,
What about all the illegal criminal aliens?
Yeah, there's a thing they do. They try to run out. They set the clock themselves and they try to run it out. And the people that were killed in Minneapolis, they don't talk about it because they think that the longer we go, the less important it's going to be to people, and more people will forget about it. But it doesn't seem to be taking this time. Normal people are getting upset at this because it's just nonstop. It's like if the pilot of a plane was just on the loudspeaker the entire flight going, "This is great. We're having a great time. Oh, turbulence. It's all your fault." People are just fly the plane. I don't want to think about it. Just please fly. Stop talking about how great you're doing. Oh, here's the thing too, is Gallup just announced like an hour ago that they're not going to have any presidential approval polls anymore.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
When
we've got no labor statistics numbers and no approval polls.
Yeah, when your polls are so low that the poll kills itself.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
I'm glad you brought up the polls because, not only is, we were talking about everything's a distraction from Epstein. I mean, my husband reminds me of this all the time. Every time I'm like, did you see that thing? And he's like, that's another distraction from Epstein, and the reality is now we can add to the list of just things they want to distract us from are the polls. And like, just one of the things that I read today, Trump's approval rating stands at 37%. 37%.
Who are the 37%?
This is the New York Times, right? I know.
But who are the 37%?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know who they are, right? They're the daughters of the American Revolution.
Yeah, I live near them.
You know who they are.
They are down the street.
But I think the other one that's fantastic, and this is my last note, is that by more than 2-1, Americans say the administration's actions have been worse than they expected. So 50% of people worse than expected. I mean, I was expecting pretty much us all to be maybe dead by now. No, I mean, it's bad. So I think they can't run, as we all know, this is all, the tube is getting smaller, right? And it's all about November. All of this, it's all about the November election. And so, they're trying to pass the SAVE Act, which is really the We Won't Let You Vote Act. As soon as humanly possible so that they can take control of the elections and make sure that everyone can't vote.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, and the constant distractions. Sorry, I have a cat who likes to distract me while I'm doing this. The constant.
A cat's just a distraction from the Epstein files.
Yes. Yeah. This is exactly.
As soon as you said distractions too, there was a That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like
we're
watching
it. No, Tony.
Weird.
I don't know. And
That's a black
always,
cat. That's weird.
I love how they use racism to distract, like the Bad Bunny performance. Like they were it's in total meltdown, right? MAGA world over the Bad Bunny performance. Trump called it unintelligible. Trump, bing, bing, bang, bang, bang. Trump called it unintelligible, right? TPUSA created what they thought was going to be a grift. And I guess the Brujas spells that were put on it worked perfectly because it was a hot mess. But I mean, what did you guys think? I have been a Bad Bunny fan for a while because one, he's fine. Like he's fine. It starts there, and I love his music. But I, as a person of color, am sick and tired of this moral outrage over Black people and Latin people existing and making everything a culture war. And so, I mean, why do they make everything a culture war? When is it because they have no actual policy to talk about? Is it because they want to distract from the things that they're doing? Is it because they think what do you guys think? Like, Tony, why do you think they make everything a culture war?
I think it's the last grasp of the irrelevant a little bit. As an old white-ish man, a lot of my peers and contemporaries are always complaining about things that they're perceived as being taken from them, whatever it is. And it's just so crazy. It's just ignorance. I see it, and it's everything I try not to be, because, you and I guess it's a lot of inertia of life. Like, I've lived so long, this is the way it's been. And now as life changes, I am uncomfortable with it,
Mm-hmm.
And also your music's not being made for you anymore. I mean, it's being made for everybody, but I hear people complain even about comedian. I don't know this comedian, people, this is more of an age thing, but I just think of white people as old in their soul because they act like an old white guy, or they're just like reaction to things without even giving people who even watched this. Hey, I didn't know him, but boy, that was an amazing show. I didn't know, I know who he was, but I wasn't familiar with music. And I mean, the show is I'm still thinking about that performance. Like, all this, it was so thick with stuff, like, it was amazing. And to say otherwise, it's almost objectively not true. So it's like the hurdles you have to do in your brain. And I don't even know how much people really believe it, or they're just regurgitating what they're supposed to. That's the line on this. We can't drink Bud Light, and we can't like this kind of music. I don't know how much is a line, or how much people are just lost themselves.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
because they're delicious. Have you eaten cats and dogs?
It's so
they're
crazy.
Delicious.
I had someone use that argument with me about, like, yeah, but these Haitians are eating cats and dogs. And I said, one, they're not. And two, white slave owners used to eat their slaves. So there's that.
I mean, white politicians eat babies. Hello.
Yeah.
Have you not read the Epstein files?
I can't.
I would just say, can I just respond to the Bad Bunny thing? Benito. He's a very smart guy. Like, he is he was hot before. I liked his music before, but now it's like, wow, you're undermining 300 years or 400 years of exploitation of brown people in one fucking 10-minute performance, like taking us through the whole plantation existence. And I think that, so I think, why are people pissed? Why is there a culture war? There's there's emotional reasons for that, which I think Tony nailed that. And there's practical reasons for that, because the powers that be have done the math. And they need to keep their base fed with steaks, raw meat. And this is raw meat. What I loved about the Super Bowl, they didn't cave and like give us translation captions.
Yeah, that was great.
We had to, for once, as white Americans, figure out what the fuck was going on. And even those of us that are liberal and well-educated, we didn't know what he was saying. Like, and that's what it must be like to be Latino in America and on many levels. So I loved every single thing about it, and most of all, the art of it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And the fact that they like freaked out so hard over his performance, where there was a huge billboard that said, the only thing stronger than hate is love. Like, okay, so you're mad at the love part? Like, what are you mad at? Because there's no official language for America. English is not the official language. We have no official language. But these are a group of people who didn't even know Puerto Rico was part of the US. So there's that,
I look at Bad Bunny, and he's huge. He's a Grammy Award winning guy. He's top of his game. He's insanely popular. People like him. Even if you've never heard of him, you got to go, oh, this guy is great. People, I don't have any of his albums, but that was a good show. And it makes me wonder what would happen if like the Beatles happened right now. It'd be like, I don't like these guys coming over here and say all you need is love. Where you get off? Limey's coming out. They would have intercepted the Beatles and stopped it because it wasn't something that they were familiar with. And it's this rage against the dying of their white, that they're that everything. It's like when people say, "Oh, the new Star Wars is killing my childhood." What kills your childhood? Growing up. These people just they refuse to do anything new. They don't want new experiences. It's like, I understand comfort and being set in your ways, but you also have to understand that there's other people in the world and other things happen that you don't know about. And you should enjoy them and go, oh, okay, that's cool. I've never seen that before. Oh, that was a good show. Wow, look at all those dancers. And then a bomber flies overhead. And everything's fine. So they're upset because things are changing and they can't stop it.
It's like not everything's for you. And you can try to understand or look for that, but not everything's for you. And they're used to having everything for them.
Yeah.
It's American culture and Western European culture, and actually a lot of culture around the world because of colonization by Western Europeans, centers around the comfort of white people when they walk in a room. And I think there's a big shift right now where people are speaking up about. I had a fight with a woman on Substack because I put up a Malcolm Jamal Warner quote that said, "Slavery is white history. How Black people survived it is Black history." And she went hard on me. You're discounting the Epstein survivors and they were all white and da da da. And I was like, well, first of all, they weren't all white. And second of all, there can be more than one injustice at a time. And this isn't about you. Sit down. It's Black History Month. And then I became the racist and I was attacking her. And I was just like, why do you have to center yourself in this? This isn't about you. Like, that is a horrible thing that happened that I am also acknowledging, but we're talking about Black history right now. And so it's because this society has always centered her comfort. It's always been the most important thing. Now that people are speaking up, there is a certain group of white people who can't handle that.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
You guys all, each one of you said something about this. Like Blaine, I was going to say, they went after John Lennon so hard for his message. And that, all we're saying is give peace a chance. I mean, they went after him hard.
He wasn't being, and
there's nothing new.
Woman.
Right. All of it, right? Everything he was doing. And, what I hear, it's just love is the thing they hate. Love, unity, peace, understanding, connection, oneness. And again, I take it back to for political reasons, they can't have that. We cannot. The powers that be, cannot have that. We cannot. And there's other reasons too, but if the 99% all banded together and we all, isn't that our job really at the end? Like, that's kind of what we're faced with now with Epstein files and all the files, anything that says files after it.
The Rockford files.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like they think the American people are really stupid, and some are, because they keep throwing out these distractions. Like, did you hear about what happened at the airport in El Paso?
Yeah.
I had to go to an appointment this morning. So I only heard about a little bit about it because my brother is living with me. He's in the process of moving here, and he likes to pop in my room and tell me everything he heard on Midas Touch before I have opened both my eyes. And so my first thought was, they're going to attack Mexico to distract from how bad the Epstein files are getting. That because they brought up cartel drones and some other things. Do you think it was another distraction? Do you think they're going to go in on Mexico? What do you guys think about what happened in El Paso?
Well, I think
I'm sorry, just real quick. So they shut down the airport at El Paso because they said there was for security reasons, and no planes, not even medical planes, could fly into the El Paso airport. And then 6 hours later, they reversed it. And they're saying the government's said it was going to be 10 days of shutdown, and then they reopened it in 4 hours because the threat was neutralized. And I think that they're setting up a pretext to do what they did in Venezuela, but I could be wrong, you know.
I heard that it was a party balloon, like a Mylar party balloon. And I guess it was, maybe a gender reveal went wrong or something, but it almost started war with Mexico. But I think that they keep making all these threats. Mm-hmm. And then they, like with Venezuela, they kind of made the threat and actually went in, but now they're in there and they don't know what to do. And Maduro is still in prison in New York. But we're going to take over Greenland. When's the last time you heard of that? Was a couple weeks ago. Oh, we're going to annex Canada. Oh, that was a couple weeks ago. They keep throwing these things out and then not following up on them. But then like maybe a couple of weeks later, they'll bring it up again to see if anybody's hot about it. And but then nothing happens. And this is an open mic administration. These guys do not know what they're doing. They're all incompetent and unqualified. But they have the power of the United States at their fingertips now, and they're just using it. They're bad at this. They're all bad. They're also so bad at this.
They're so
the first go around, he hired a lot of professional politicians, and then when they weren't loyal or at the first sign of any like, oh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, they were all fired. So now it's just all these loyalists and sycophants. And they don't know what they're doing because they're not good at their job.
Yeah, and there are people with some pretty dark agendas as well, very adjacent. So like you've got like Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, and I would argue that what we saw was it was like a bureaucratic glitch that we probably weren't meant to see, which is like, okay, apparently there were Mexican drug cartel drones. Which do Mexican cartels use drones? I don't know. I think all of this is about escalating our capacity to spy, to see what's going on, and to commit warfare. Like whatever this is, it's like if you are on the border, near the border, you're Venezuela, there's an opportunity, we want your oil, we're going to escalate, and we need to practice using these technologies. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a little like, I heard there was a couple different statements came out of the Defense Department, said one thing, FAA said another thing about what was actually going on. My guess is the border is a place where they're running a lot of drills.
Experiments.
Drills.
Okay.
Yeah. War games.
I mean, there has been inflammatory language. I mean, he started it before he even was sworn in for the second time. It's just so hard for me to say those words.
It's insane that he was reelected after fucking up so hard.
And he immediately talked about invading Mexico. So I think he's constantly like testing the waters, and I don't think he's letting the Canada thing go. He's mad about a bridge that they paid for that we get half of by claiming we should have half, even though we already have half.
He's mad about he's mad about New Jersey's tunnel. Like these are the most, let's loop it back around to Pam Bondi. They're just smug jerks. They want what they want. And they want it now.
Well, to be fair, there's still a lot of stuff out there that's not named Trump. So we got to first name everything Trump.
Yeah.
And then that's.
I'm announcing today that I am renaming my dog, named after a Latin baseball player, to Trump. I think he's probably going to pee on my foot, but I got a dog that pees on me when he's mad. It's great.
That's the 13-year-old.
Yeah, the 13-year-old Chihuahua Italian Greyhound. Like he's all piss and vinegar. Love the shit out of him. But
I think one of the things that bothers me more than anything else is the fact that they're all praising him and praising themselves as like Bondi was doing this today. He's the greatest president in American history. No, he's not. No, he is. They just insist that he's so great and that everything that they've done is perfect and the country is great. And it's like they're lying to themselves, but they believe it, and they're just repeating it to us until we believe it. And
it's like the definition of a cult member.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
If you see somebody you love ever have it in a cult, you're the same, or even maybe some kind of schizophrenia where like reality is just they're not in reality anymore. It's all focused on whoever the cult leader or whatever the thing is. And they're in a cone of perfection. They exist in this cone of perfection that nothing can penetrate.
Yeah.
Well, there's a new story out of the Epstein files, which puts Bannon, Epstein, and a bunch of Harvard guys in a room. And now people are thinking, was that QAnon? Which it actually, if you take out the culty part and the bullshit, the math, how many times does it take to hit a person with information before they think it's true? And how long does it take to actually get them to unravel, to come back to reality? This is mathematical. If you guys are interested, you can do a deep dive. Just go to the Epstein files.
I can't.
But yeah,
I can tell you, Nicole. I started reading them, and when it got to the alleged consumption of children, I tapped out.
oof.
I couldn't sleep. I was like shaking, and I was just like, I can't read this anymore. I cannot. So I'm getting my information about it in bits and pieces, because for me, there are so many people of power around the world that are connected to this man, right? And if that was a different kind of cult, they are what QAnon accused the Democrats of being.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Allegedly.
a lot of people made the point that all these conspiracy theories, there's a conspiracy of pedophiles that are running the world. It's like they were right, but it was the wrong people. It was every accusation is a confession thing that's going on. But it's like you gotta give the conspiracy freaks this one. They were right. There is a pedophile conspiracy that rules the world.
And they have math now. They have data analytics. They Cambridge Analytica.
You've been reading the files, and you can sleep.
I do not read the files directly, girl. I just see something on Threads, and by the way, Threads, But like I'll see something, and then I'm like, oh, I'd like to know more about that. Did you guys see, by the way, when what's his name, Howard Lutnick, was being asked about the Epstein files?
Yeah.
He goes, well, I typed my name in. Didn't everyone like?
No, I didn't. I did not. My dog did.
I would type my own name in. I mean, it's like Googling yourself, but like, no, I didn't Google myself. Anyway. I thought that was peak.
We knew he was lying when he was like, and we saw the massage table, and my wife and I said about our neighbor who's 6 steps away, we will never be in the same room with that guy again. I was like, yeah, buddy, you was at that.
We went to his island, but we didn't go to his house anymore.
Yeah. he just had lunch with us on the yacht.
Yeah.
I love it. I came back with all my children, but he didn't say anything about the nannies.
So what's bothering me also is that all these people went to the island with their children.
What is that? I mean, did you see the pictures though of it? I was shocked because it's like it's like a resort. So it's like a resort. Like, well, I just saw innocuous. I saw like innocuous pictures of like it's like there's chaise lounges and people with drinks and a little beachfront and little kids jigging in the sand and all that stuff. Like it wasn't with lots of people on the beach. And again, these are just little things I'm getting a glimpse. But it was also then the nefarious part of like a guy taking a shot like on his camera phone of his own body with like a young body next to him, like look at the flex, look at me flex,
I can't.
I hope it all comes crashing down.
I will listen. Some guy, I had my cousin's kid with me. She was 11. We were at Ross. She's in her 20s.
Dress for less?
Ross Dress for Less. Listen, don't discount TJ Maxx and Ross Dress for Less and Home Goods are where I go to meditate.
I can only afford TJ Min.
Yeah. They've got some great stuff. I put together some great outfits for people under $100 that made them look very expensive. That's my happy place. So I was there with her, and a 60-year-old man I had my back turned. He was trying to hit on her, and I am surprised I didn't go to jail because I told him I was going to stab his eyes out if he kept looking at her. And that's how I feel about men who prey on children. Like I will do the time. Someone's going to send out an email about my bail fund, but I'll do the time. So.
My wife said something interesting that she gets very upset at the obviously everybody gets upset at this, but she said, there are people who go on the internet and their job is to look for bad stuff. They go through Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and they have to comb through social media and find the bad stuff. And they look at child sexual assault videos. They look at gore and car accidents and all these horrible, horrible things. And then, but they do it in shifts. There's very strict rules about how much they can watch. They have therapists there and they have mental health officials there that help these people deal with what they have to look at all day long. And we don't have that, but we look at it all day long now. Everybody is getting just fire hosed with all these horrible these child eating stuff and rape of young women and stuff. And but you don't have a therapist sitting there going, okay, let's talk about this. So people are getting traumatized by this stuff. Normal people are getting traumatized, and
I had to tap out.
Yeah, it can't be good for the general welfare of our, American mental health.
The regulators need to start regulating. I mean, this is insane. Like, what happened to just, being the safe house on your street and parents looking out for, in the the streets of the internet, there are no moms that don't have to work. I mean, my mom was always out working, but someone was, made sure I got in at some point.
Yeah.
But no, we've left it it's to the wolves, babe. And I think like, because we've left it all to the wolves, we have a wolf who is the commander in chief, an absolute will just, I mean, and I don't want to leave it with like, this is a blip in a timeline. I do believe we can turn it around. Like, I honestly believe we can turn it around. So, I'm hopeful and I'm encouraged. Like, every time I see someone pushing back like Ted Lieu today with Blaine, he was taking no shit from anybody. And that we need people to be factual and to, hold people accountable. And I think the voters, given that, what we've seen thus far with these elections, these kind of one-offs we've seen, we Democrats are winning everything. I'm not to say the Democrats are the answer, but
in double digits.
Yeah.
Huge double-digit sweeps.
I'm very hopeful if it's fair.
Still seems like we need some people to take charge.
Yeah. Well, there are another good factor is the courts and the grand juries who are refusing this foolery. Right?
You mean the liberal activist grand juries and courts?
Liberal activists and Obama appointed, even though they were appointed by Reagan and Bush judges. And some of them even Trump appointed judges are just
Trump appointed liberal activist judges?
Yes.
Yeah, those guys.
Those ones. They have been saying no. They said no. Like, okay, so we know about the seditious six, right? So it was Slotnick, Crow, I always forget their names, Houlihan, Kelly, members of Congress and Senate who have served in the military made the video reminding military that they don't have to follow unlawful orders, that their oath is to the Constitution and to follow the law. And if there's resources for them if they feel like what they're being asked to do is illegal. There's nothing wrong with that. And Mango Mussolini practically had a stroke, right? And
he actually did have a stroke.
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Was that
when it was underreported?
But he lost it. And then Janine Pirro took a break from her wine club to try to indict them in front of a grand jury. And the grand jury said no.
Yeah.
And time again with Comey, with James, with the sandwich guy, these courts are shutting them down. And I feel like, I don't know. This administration keeps losing, right? They're not even good at being bullies. So are the courts a hopeful place for us, or do you think it's just one tool?
Well, I think the no matter what the courts say, the administration is going to do whatever it wants until they're stopped by force. And as everybody's like, well, they can't do this because of this law. Well, they're doing it.
Yeah. What does that force look like to you?
I don't want to get. I just think that there needs to be a concerted effort to impeach these people, to hold them accountable, like like hardcore legal. Just bring the force of America's legal and judicial system against these people, because Trump
Mhm.
understands lawsuits. That's where he lives. He lives in court. He sues people. And that's where he makes all his money. That's how he's grifting right now, by demanding people pay him all these millions of dollars in these weird lawsuits that he comes up with. But I think that the Democrats especially need to just step up and start using the powers that they have legally to stop them, because it's like, well, legally they can't do this. Well, they're doing it. You need to stop it legally. There's things in place that are not being used. There's tools that are just being, left in the shed, I think.
Well, I mean, do you think? I think that part of this is a fascist playbook. It's a way of bullying people into silence and trying to, the everyday person is like, well, if they can do it to these powerful people or members of Congress, what are they going to do to me if I speak up?
Yeah, well,
I think that
they
that's
threaten everybody with violence and career destruction, and people are afraid of that. But these people are going to be gone at some point, and in the future, hopefully in 3 years, this will be over, and the people that are doing this are going to try to sink back into the woodwork and pretend it never happened. There's an American tradition of looking forward instead of looking backward, and sometimes people need to be punished for their crimes, and we don't do that anymore. That seems to be a 20th century thing.
Yeah, I think I've heard more and more people calling for this administration to face criminal consequences for their behavior. And I think everyone's looking to this future when they're not in office anymore, but we're watching this administration do everything they can to stay in power forever.
Mhm.
So do you guys think that there's going to be a guarantee that we're going to have a November election where they're going to be forced out and the midterms are going to allow a new Congress to come in and actually impeach and remove him from office or do something about
I
it?
am popping the popcorn. I mean, no, it is, we will, if assuming people have access to get to their polling place, assuming they don't, take, flamethrowers and stick them in the ballot boxes and, you know what I'm saying? Like burn our votes or whatever. And they're like, yeah, we are going to change the face of the government. And once the committee chairs switch over to the other side, it is going to be, as Blaine talks about, there's going to be accountability. That is the number one thing when you have the gavel, so to speak, you can do. There's no doubt. And you set the agenda, you set the tone. Trump now, remember I'm trying to remember the first term. I feel like, we held him back like towards the end until to stop the steal. So the question is, does the lunacy ramp up again? Because it would have to get to that level of stop the steal levels for us. The one thing he's got going for him now is a paramilitary. And that does not benefit us, right? He's got a paramilitary.
He's got his private police, ICE.
All of it. He's got the weapons of war. But look, as we talk, no one has a crystal ball. We can't see it. So I'm going to say yes. We are going to have an election, whether it's free and fair. There's no way he's going to take the football and roll around on it and not let us get it. But it's our duty and our job. The truth always comes out, So it's going, whether this Mishigas, as the Jews like to say, lasts 3 more years or it's 1 more year, 3, 5, 10, we're in it for the long haul, America. This entire podcast has been about reflecting on what America is, and we still will be it. So we have to change.
I feel like we gave it up real easy. And I feel like no one understands the sense of urgency. And I don't, unless more and more everyday American people fight back and make these elected officials uncomfortable and peacefully take to the streets, we're done. Maybe it's because my father was Ethiopian and I saw when it went from Haile Selassie to the communists, literally members of my family were killed. Right? We were here in America. My mom was American, helping the Ethiopian side get in, and the trauma that they had experienced at the hands of the Derg, which were the communists backed by Russia, the Soviet Union, who were killing Americans. And it's the trauma now for Ethiopians now because of a civil war, because of Western meddling, where over 1 million Ethiopians have died. And I've seen authoritarianism and the trauma that's inflicted on people that I care about very quickly. I don't think we have that much time. I don't think we have until November. I think we need to take this more seriously. I don't think our democracy is going to save us because they're allowing our democracy to fall apart and sending strongly worded letters.
I would just say,
Yeah.
by no means is that what I'm prescribing, that we wait or do. I mean, November is critical, and every day until then is a 5-alarm fire. So I'm not suggesting we do nothing till then, and that it's every single thing we do. And I mean, I'm going to say, let's have a general strike. You know, am I even a Democrat anymore? I don't even, I might be, I don't know. I might be a socialist. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, no, I mean, we have the power of the purse. We can do that. And it's felt amazing to shut down a lot of my spending in places that I finally did it. You know, I've always done it to a certain extent, like recycling and buying. No, now this is much more radical, trying not to support bad people. But I hear you. It's not enough. We need to do more. Tony talked about leaders stepping up. We need that so bad. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
I mean, do you guys feel a sense of urgency, Blaine and Tony? What do you see?
Yeah,
well,
I feel like
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I asked you both at the same time. That was my bad. That
Go
was
ahead, Blaine.
I was going to say I agree with Nicole that there needs to be, that we need to ramp up to the elections. And you know, everybody's like, oh, they're going to cancel the elections. I think the elections are going to happen, and I think that the Republicans are going to get taken to the cleaners. But I think that then that's when they're going to run to the courts, and it's going to be all these weird lawsuits and delays. So it's going to get bogged down in our precious legal system. But I do think there's going to be elections, and I do think that society, that people are like you were saying, that there's been a shrug about this whole thing so far, but normal people are kind of going, well, I'm getting a little tired of this. This is kind of bullshit. So I think that normal people are starting to wake up, and you're seeing these double-digit swings in these special elections. And you're seeing the desperation and the flailing of conservatives insisting that not only are they right and doing a great job, but also everybody loves them and they're cool. Like, you know, the whole Kid Rock, you know, we're going to put on our own halftime show.
Yeah, he's so American, the son of a billionaire who likes to write songs about
Pedophilia.
PDF file, you know.
Yeah, ba what the ba dang a day. Okay, I got it.
But he can't. But that guy's not even speaking English, Bad Bunny. But what is?
Yeah, I think Kid Rock kind of lost it when Josie died.
I don't know who that is. I don't know enough.
Josie was he was a little guy that was sort of like his partner, like his sidekick, and
I
they
had
would
to
rap.
Brains is the outfit.
He was ancient. Like he was still when Kid Rock did The Simpsons. Josie passed away like 20 years ago or something, and it was sad. But you know, it's there you go.
In Nashville, he has a bar on Broadway, and
Kid Rock or Josie.
Yeah, it's Kid Rock. It's called the Kid Rock Bar. It's a thing. It's a thing here. Like all the country guys. You know, there's like a Dolly Parton themed rooftop bar called White Limousine, which I highly recommend. It's awesome. It's so cute, and the food and drinks are good. Then Morgan, I'm a racist to the core. Wallen, allegedly a racist to the core, has a bar. There's the Jason Aldean bar. There's just all the country music stars have their own bar on Broadway. And then Kid Rock has a bar, and it's packed all the time. And sometimes he'll pop up and perform. It's really
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. It's 3 floors. It's like, imagine like the lamest club where everyone was super drunk, hot mess drunk. And you were like, why did you guys bring me here? And there's 4 floors of it and the music is trash.
He's their cultural icon, people.
Yeah. He shoots Bud Lights with an AR-15 and misses. Yeah.
Because it's all the beer's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Tony, what do you think?
Well, it is fun. Like I agree with what Blaine said about going back to the election stuff and whether.
Thank you, Tony.
And because we got to realize before he even got in the game, Trump was Obama's not a citizen. He's throwing shade on elections even before he got in the game. That's his thing. So I think there's going to be so much. I think, of course, we'll win. Hopefully, but then it's just going to be tied up. Even when they win, they'll be like, oh, there was whoever lost. They rigged his one thing and everybody else won. That's their thing, is just deny, deflect. Deflect. So I think it's just going to be back to the quagmire of legalness for years. It's just that's their game plan. Even if it's paper ballots, ID, no matter what, there's no purity test for them, because that's not what they really want.
Right.
Yeah, they just want power. But
Yeah.
right now there's the SAVE Act, as you were mentioning, Nicole, that they're trying to push through. They're trying to federalize elections instead of making them local.
Yeah.
And he said that.
Which the Constitution is not going to allow, but he never let a little thing like the Constitution get in his way.
Exactly.
I don't
So,
Like,
think
oh,
they
he's
have
not
the votes
he's not
for this.
obeying the law, but he's not. He's a
Mhm.
criminal. That's what criminals do. They disobey the law, and he's not going to start, and you can't stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
or he's going to cry like a baby. He's just going to cry like a baby until he's literally unliving.
He's already unliving.
I know. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why that. I didn't want to say. I don't want anyone to accuse me of like wishing harm on them.
yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, there was one of those things where everybody was like, "Is he dead? He hasn't posted in a couple of days. Is he dead?"
Yeah.
And then everybody was like excited.
Oh.
And I woke up the next morning and I knew he wasn't dead because I didn't hear honking and cheering.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or like people
No
driving down the
Christmas.
street playing Nipsey Hussle's F Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's the only drag about when it finally happens. He's not going to be here to see what people say and think about it. If I could just, here's the thing that I think too is like, I hope that he just at the end of 3 years he leaves office, and I hope he lives for another 10 years just to watch everybody ridicule him and say what really thought of him while he was in power, but were afraid of him, and watch everything that he did get dismantled. I would love to see that happen to him, because he doesn't understand what people actually think of him.
I can't wait to go back to the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. And the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
The center's done. It's closed. I'm glad I got to go. Once.
I'm going to go back. I can't wait to go back to that East Wing. And
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
they tore it down before they even had plans.
Yeah. Well, but the
It's very
court
insane.
suspect.
well, if he can't do that, he can't build the ballroom. Who knows if he's going to build it anyway?
Kid Rock should build it. He's got a great place in Nashville.
3 stories ballroom, 3-story ballroom.
Yeah, with like hot mess Jello shots, and all the girls who work there are forced to wear these weird neon bra tops with neon leggings. Yeah, it's a hot mess. It is what
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
if these guys were, get to implement the rest of Project 2025, probably all school children will have to wear neon leggings and identify themselves as, menstruating or whatever.
Wear modest frocks with bonnets, Nicole,
Oh,
and they're going to burn butter while they praise the Lord under His eye.
Right.
That's their plan. And I love how people are like, I didn't know. I'm like, they wrote a whole book about what they were going to do. Like they wrote the book and they put it out. They're like, here's our book of how we're going to, we thought that Handmaid's Tale was a blueprint. So now we wrote a guidebook.
And that's a good reminder that if we win the congressional midterms, the legislation that we will put forward and pass will safeguard us for a while longer. Like, look, it's one thing to have an executive order and to have a paramilitary to enact or go after people who might be here illegally and to use brute force. It's another thing to ignore a judge's order on something. But, I think when you have Congress, which is going to be able to, give power back to states, for example, Like, for example, in California, the second Trump came in, he said, you know, that whole thing you guys wanted fuel economy for your cars, that whole fuel efficiency, like the Gavin Pass, 27 miles per gallon, that's it by 2027. He undid that the first thing he did, right? They'll be able
Didn't
to
Gavin
pass
take
along.
him to court and win?
Not on that. Not on
Oh.
that. So,
I know, but like
anyway,
90% of the stuff that he's taken him to court on, he's beat the Trump administration.
Right. Anyway, I'm blah, blah, blahing, but I think what's important, what I want people to hear is I want them to remember there is power in every election for each person that hears this. You have the power, like you may not be able to go to Minneapolis and protest or show up and, you're working, you're busy, this and that. You can get involved in the election. You can call your members of Congress. All of that is an action that is commendable. Like anytime you pick up the phone and you do anything that promotes democracy right now, that's a radical act.
Well, that's my morning coffee ritual. I am blessed enough, praise you know who, to live in a state where I have 2 Republican senators and a Republican congressperson who praise Trump. I mean, Marsha Blackburn's running for Senate and her ads are Trump saying that she's great and he's sad she's running for governor. And then so I'm Marsha Blackburn and I support this message. And I'm like, and we had a special election. Our really like Mondami like progressive Democrat almost won. She lost by 2 points to the Trump sycophant who was funded by Bezos.
Is Franklin County blue?
No. Franklin County is where racists from California moved to, and then they're upset because it's not racist enough.
I thought that was Austin.
It's Franklin, Tennessee. It's Williamson County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, I think Austin has expanded, or California, people leaving California has expanded and they need new places now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've got Patriot Front marching here all the time and putting up banners on the freeway. And
how's Memphis?
I haven't been there yet. It's too far.
Okay. I spent a week in Memphis and I had a wonderful time.
Well,
I need to go.
I was at Memphis. I'll tell you something. They got carpet on the ceilings there, and they got the craziest stuff, music stuff everywhere.
That's what I heard.
They got the ducks on the roof of the hotel, and then the bell goes off, and the ducks go down into their little hutch.
And you'll never see anything like it except for Memphis. Also, the first TGI Fridays, they got that.
Oh, it started there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was originally a TGI Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I got here right before COVID, and the germaphobe in me was embraced the lockdown all the way. And I feel like I'm just now really getting to know Tennessee. I mean, I've driven to, I drive to Atlanta and I'll drive to, it's surrounded by 8 states. So it's a great state if you want to, I can get to New Orleans in 7 hours.
Is that the motto? Surrounded by 8 states.
We're the volunteer state.
Oh.
Yeah, but I have not been to Memphis. I have Memphis, Chattanooga, and Knoxville are the places I'm determined to go to this year. Not Puyallup or Pulaski, where the Klan started, but I'll go to Memphis. So, but I every morning I call my elected officials. I make my coffee. I sit down and I call them. I use an app called 5 Calls. So for people out there who are like, I don't know what to say when I call them, 5 Calls is great because you put in your zip code and then it gives you a script for each issue that you're concerned about. So if it's defunding ICE, defunding the DHS, impeaching Trump, preventing the SAVE Act from going into effect, it has a script that you can read to your elected officials straight from there. And they even, like, for example, here they're trying to build private prisons that are going to be the forefront of the immigration crackdown. And they have scripts so you can call your local officials here and let them know that that's unacceptable. And it's a great way for people who aren't comfortable going out, because not everything has to be going out into the streets. Like you say, Nicole, right? There's all these different things. Me personally, I've gone out in the streets. I'll go out in the streets. I'll chain myself to the rotunda of City Hall. Done that. I've organized hunger strikes. Like, I'm willing to take the risk. Some people are terrified of that. And so this is a great way for people to get involved. And I hope people get, I don't know, you guys, for me, the hardest part has been like, sometimes I look at France and like when their farmers are dropping manure, at the Capitol to protest a policy, I'm like, oh man, why can't we do that? I mean, I worry that the
Drop manure in
Americans
France.
have capitulated. Like, do you think that they see the urgency that that's right in front of us right now? Or what do you think is going on in the mind of the American people?
Well, I think the apathy is only matched by laziness. People don't want to shake up their cushy jobs and lives, and they also think, well, these people are out there doing it for us. I got to go to work.
And some people like it still, some people like what's going on. Minority, some people are thinking, oh, this America's on track now.
Yeah,
Let's go watch the Kid Rock.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of I think there are, I don't want to sleep on, when things happen in America, there are times where people do respond with showing up, like, with the immigration ban during Trump's first term and they shut down the airport. I think, and people in Minneapolis, oh my God, I mean, they are heroes.
Yeah.
They are my heroes.
Yes.
People in San Francisco, I think it was 2 weekends ago, there were hundreds, maybe 100,000 people in San Francisco. In LA, I think we're tired. I think people, you can't sustain this. It's like, think of Hitler Germany, or it's hard to sustain it. So I think that this is, again, Tony's point on leadership. Like, we're such a big country, so many pockets of different things going on. How do we keep it local, but make it feel national and apply the pressure? And I think that's where boycotts come in. That's where voting comes in. What an act of defiance, right? So, but I hear you, and I will not give up hope, and I cannot give up hope. I won't, because I've seen Me Too happen. The harder thing, when these movements happen and when these injustices happen, we rise up, and then, to Blaine's point, there is no way to keep it, to sustain it. We're all looking at our phones, we're all like, did I get my peptides? I mean, the culture, it just, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got a very special story because of your immigrant story. It's, you come from this heritage, you lived it, your parents lived it. We're a little soft. Our muscles, we've been coaxed into relaxing a little bit more than we should. So I think we're waking up now. We're waking up.
I agree with that. Like, when I look at the voter numbers, a lot of people don't, like, we're in this because a lot of people didn't vote, right? Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Tony?
I think to Nicole's point, I think people are waking up because it's coming home now. A lot of people, like an average American, it's not around them. They go to work, they come home, things are relatively okay. But now they're seeing, oh, my neighbor's being taken, or this happened. They're feeling it. It's visceral, and I think that's what's making the change. It's coming home. The stuff is coming home now.
Yeah, I think that is a very American thing, that they don't get involved unless it happens directly to them, and then they get then they stand up pretty fast. I mean, it's like what they say about Republicans, like, they don't care about gay people until one of their family members is gay and gets discriminated against, or that kind of a thing. Like, it has to happen to them for them to do something about it.
And it always
but it's starting to happen to more people.
Yeah.
I mean, gay rights, even you could say marijuana. If someone knows someone, it's like, oh, it's not that bad. Or oh, okay, this is happening. This is I'm seeing this with my eyes. The media is not involved. There's no middleman. It's my experience. I'm accepting this thing now,
Yeah. So all we have to do is have something horrible happen to each and every person.
Yeah,
and it is. So mission accomplished.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I feel like there's kind of like a panic in people when you talk about diversity, and I think that a lot of white people need to understand that. I don't know. I can't speak for other people. When I think about diversity, white people are part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, diversity includes like everybody, including white people. It's not erasing white people. It's like bringing everyone into the fold. that needs to be re-explained. It's not a us against them. No one's trying to take anything. I'm not trying to replace anyone or take anything from anyone. I want to take a nap and buy a Chanel bag, and that's my life goal. And
but that's exactly the feeling of my contemporaries. Is they feel with Bad Bunny, they feel something is being taken. The halftime is being taken from me. Things are being taken from me. That's the perception. Not like, oh, this is just an addition to your life, not a subtraction.
That's the most political thing I've heard in this podcast. I mean, it's just that idea is poison. It's like there's this finite amount of jobs. Like, again, the reality is a lot of the things we're going, but because we were sold that bill of goods, we were sold that we wouldn't be seen as white people if brown people were given the vote, or, I mean, the goal here is equality. We can experience Bad Bunny. He can also have an artistic moment at a Super Bowl where he only hires brown people, Latino people, maybe European Latinos too. I don't know. My point is we can have these experiences, and it doesn't take away from the fact that I might like, Nickelback.
No.
What?
No.
But you know what I mean?
That's too far.
Are you okay, girl?
Like, I don't have to hate on country music. I don't listen to it. I don't need to hate. I get it. So there's room for everyone. Go within, people. Just go within.
I have a friend who's he's in a huge country music band. He's like a big Grammy Award winning star. And I was over at his house and he was talking about all these people. I'm like, who's that? And he's like, you don't know who any of these people are? And I went, I don't like country music. I like you and your wife as people. I hate country music. And he was like, I don't know. I'm like, I support you. That's it. You're my friend. But I don't like country music, and I'm in the throes of it. I don't know who any of these people are.
Do you viscerally hate those people?
I don't hate
that's the difference.
You know what? Because I am an Antifa left-wing radical that was sent here by Nancy Pelosi, born and raised in San Francisco, California. So I'm just doing what I was told to do, right?
Yeah.
Nice. But I don't know.
Well, I appreciate being a cell of California in Tennessee. You're our cell.
Yeah. Oh, we're the, how they complained about the transplants, the tech bro transplants in San Francisco?
Yeah.
We're the transplants that they complain about here, all of California, especially the Southern California people. There's a lot of people from California here. Because you can buy a mansion on 3 acres of land for $1 million. So, and the state income tax, and there's more race. They thought there was more racism. They were wrong. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess we're going to leave it at that because we've run out of time, but I want everyone to tell me where we can catch you, what you're working on now. Nicole, what have you got going on?
Yeah, so I'm working on a television series set up at Fox. It's a half-hour comedy about a congressional district office, but we're not on the air yet. So fingers crossed. And please come find me on Instagram and Threads. Let's have a conversation. I want to be in this conversation with everybody that listens to the show.
Yes. Awesome. Blaine, what have you got going on?
This Saturday, Valentine's Day, I'm going to be hosting the legendary Lucha Vavoom at the Fox Theater in Pomona. So please come on out and see it. Mexican wrestling and burlesque. And you can also hear me playing Dungeons and Dragons with my friends on the Nerd Poker podcast, available where fine podcasts are sold. And I'll also be appearing on this right now.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I got to sign the release.
Okay, yeah. I'll send you the NDA after the show.
I'm all AI.
Tony, what have you got going on?
I got a podcast with Laura Keitlinger called What We Thought Would Happen, and she's great. I love her. And then I also have a new album out called Ass Pocket of Whimsy on Stand Up Records. So we've watched those things or not, I don't care. But
Tony, you're one of my favorite comedians ever.
Likewise, Blaine.
Just
hey, Blaine, who's this podcast been sponsored by, Blaine?
This podcast, of course, is sponsored by Swiffer. When you don't really feel like cleaning anything, don't really clean anything with Swiffer.
Oh God, I love them.
So good, you guys. So good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Great
Thank you so
job.
much.
Thank you,
Nicole
Yanni.
Boxer,
Amazing job,
Tony
by the
Camin,
way.
Blaine Capatch. I appreciate all of you. Everyone, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below where you're from, where you're tuning in from. You can catch us on all the platforms. But if you're on YouTube, please comment down below. We want to know where people are watching from, and we love you all. And don't forget, in the words of Brian Copeland, be kind to your neighbors. They know where you live.